Board meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So just to let everybody know that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast on our local cable station. It will be live and available to view on their website. And it is a Zoom meeting, so if people are watching by Zoom and they have comments or questions, please put them in the Q&A. Sean will keep an eye out for those. And if you do that, just make sure that you let us know your name and your street address. And just want the select board members to introduce themselves to ensure that we have a quorum.
I'm Jennifer Stacy.
I am Mark Mann.
I'm Dottie Fulgenetti.
I'm Craig Barger.
And select board member Jamie Stebbins is not able to be with us tonight. So I think that's it for the introductions, and we're going to just jump right into the Citizens Academy Class of 2024 graduation.
Great. So I'll kick it off. Just as a recap for folks that are watching or in the audience that don't know what Citizens Academy is, this is the third cohort that we run of the Easton Citizens Academy, which is a 10-week program that includes classes, activities, and tours that are designed to give folks a comprehensive look at what we do behind the scenes and what it takes for our staff to provide services that we all use in the community every day. The goal of the program is to educate residents about their local government, how it operates, increase communication between town government and the community, and empower folks to get involved, to go to more public meetings, to go to annual and spring town meeting, and hopefully eventually serve on a board or committee. This year's cohort started in this room on March 4th with our administration and finance team, and have since gone to 7 other buildings to see our town departments in the spaces they work in, to meet and learn from the staff that are quietly working behind the scenes to deliver the high quality services that we use every day, and that residents often don't have to think twice about, like providing water, safe streets, clean public spaces, and a lot of other things that we use every day but don't have to think much about. Outside of administration and finance, other departments that this cohort visited and learned from was from our DPW, police, fire, IT, town clerk, town moderator, the school department, inspectional services, health and community services, planning and economic development, the library, and the fire department. And some of those departments were coupled together, of course, because I listed more than 10, but that just demonstrates just how much was covered in a 10-week period and how much information they absorbed over that period of time. Following the weeks of departmental sessions, the final exam was to go to town meeting on May 20th, and this was a really great town meeting for folks to engage in with MBTA zoning and all the amendments that passed with the school budget. It was really great to see process and procedure play out in real time, and some folks in the cohort had been to town meeting before where others hadn't, so it was a really great mix of backgrounds to be able to approach that together. And despite it being a voluntary program, you'd think that you get varying levels of engagement, and sometimes you don't get the level of engagement that you'd hope for, but that wasn't the case with this cohort. We had a lot of really insightful comments and questions that were developed by our participants, and it wasn't just contained to the time that they were in class. They were asking questions in between sessions just because there was so much interest that was generated, and it was really it really warmed my local government heart to have you all ask those questions, because it really showed that there was an interest and that you cared about it. So thank you for that. And at the beginning of the 10 weeks, I asked everyone, the only homework assignment that was given during Citizens Academy was just a brief statement on what their perception of local government was before they started the program, just to see how we could match it towards what happened afterwards. And I just picked 2 brief ones out. The first, I am pretty happy with town, not knowing all the inner workings, but happy with the results. One area I would like improved is paving of my street. I understand money is tight in this area, so not surprised it has not been addressed yet. And the other was, one perception I always have is that local government is always lacking budget and staff to provide the optimal level of services to the town. And those are 2 really great examples of perceptions that exist not just in Easton, but in every city and town, because these are just local government issues that we face. And Citizens Academy is a really great tool to be able to educate and inform and contextualize what we do in local government. So I'm really, really thankful to everyone that was part of this cohort. There were 11 of you. I want to thank you for your participation and engagement. This program wouldn't have been as lively and enjoyable as it was if it wasn't for your questions and comments and general interest in local government and wanting to learn more. I also want to thank the board and Connor for supporting this program again, for the department heads who participated and staff who put a lot of time into the presentations and tours and everything else that goes into making this possible, all the logistics. And then last, I want to again thank my predecessor, Mike Blanchard, for laying the groundwork for making this possible in the first place. And before I turn it back to the board, I have asked a couple in the group. I asked for at least one, otherwise I would pick one myself, and 4 eagerly jumped up. So I kind of just pulled a sneaky on them, and I'm going to have them all 4 of them share their experience, and I'm going to start with David.
I'm David Boyd. I live at 19 Lothrop. It's the corner of Lothrop and Sheridan. So I'm very familiar with the police and fire departments and their coming and going, and the schools as school begins and ends each day. I started the program last year and had COVID and had to drop out, so I appreciate the second opportunity. I have a rather quaint, some would say naive or old-fashioned idea of what it is to be a citizen. This was reinforced for me in this process as we saw the people who serve this community faithfully doing their work. So the Citizens Academy has affirmed and strengthened my notion that this can work. I know that the town hall form of government, which I had never experienced before, can be really messy. But it's also kind of fun. And Connor pointed out in our first session that when we go to the town meeting, we are the legislators. That really spoke to me and struck me as the opportunity that we have in a community of this size. The thing that impressed me the most was the dedication and commitment of those who serve this community. The presentations were extraordinary. The fire department wants us to say that they were the best, and they were pretty good.
You drive the fire truck, right?
I heard.
But I'm a retired pastor, and I know what it is to be committed to your work. And I really have that sense across the board. Makes me pleased to be a citizen of this community, and I believe that to be a citizen is to be involved. And thank you for the opportunity, all of you. And I wanted to address the select, do we call you select people?
Select board members.
The select board members. I thought at first that you did this for the huge salary, but I found out that's not the case. Thank you for your service. It's obvious at the town meeting that you did an awful lot of work, laying the groundwork so that your neighbors could make the commitments that were made. And I'm grateful.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
So I have to admit, Sean kind of put me on the spot here because he sent in his email that other people were speaking, so I have no prepared remarks. So thank you, Sean, for putting me on the spot. My name is Michael Mulcahy. I've been a resident of Easton for only 3 years. The initial question that Sean posed about our experiences with town government, my experiences with town government have been very minimal. I come from a big city. I was born and raised in Boston, spent the majority of my adult life in New York. So in big city governments, it's often thought it's not what you know, but who you know, and I can attest that is true. The thing that stood out to me the most, and I would like to echo something that David said, was the participatory aspect of town meeting. Again, I had no prior experience with local town meeting. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just an arena for people to air their petty grievances in public. However, I was completely wrong on some aspects of that. But it's the simple fact that we are our own legislators. Is something that harkens back to Athenian democracy and participation in the ecclesia. I'm sorry, my college background is in politics and philosophy, so I will sound nerdy on that. I had no idea that we were our own legislators. I think that's an important aspect, particularly given the circumstances that we're facing at the national and international level with democratic backsliding, the increasing erosion of democratic norms. It's something that we can control here, and I think that's a huge aspect that should be I don't know. It should be more noted to my fellow citizens in this town. I'd like to thank the chief for hosting us. He didn't give us snacks, but I did get to ride in the fire truck, which was the highlight of my time, and I got to use the fire hose, so that made me very happy. And I just wanted to say thank you to Sean and Connor for running this program. I'm glad that I was sort of like, I got that random email from the town of Easton asking if I wanted to participate, and I thought, well, why not? So thank you.
Thank you.
I have to write everything down. I'm Amy Groken from Hemlock Lane. And it was a good experience to be behind the scenes, to find out what makes Easton tick, and to see how local government really affects our day-to-day lives. I am impressed in learning about the dedication and collaboration it takes for everyone involved in every department and on all boards and committees to run the town. With so many people involved, it has been interesting to learn how everything ultimately comes together. A lot of effort goes into making Easton a welcoming community. What I did not realize was how much we are restricted by certain state funding and other legal parameters, which makes town decisions and choices often limited. I have a better appreciation for what the town is able to do with the resources we have. Thank you to everyone in each department for volunteering their time to create the academy so that we and future academies can benefit as residents from the positive and informative experience. And thanks to Sean as well for steering us each week and for providing us those PowerPoint presentations. Those are going to be a great reference. So thank you very much.
Denise Higgins. So I do want to thank the board. I want to thank Sean for the ugly stepsister opportunity here that you had to kind of fit us all in between what you do every single day. So thank you very much. I thought that this was so well presented and so thoroughly fair and transparent. I think that what we take is that sometimes government isn't fair, transparent. I really applaud that it truly felt that way, didn't it? It kind of felt that way. I like the fact that you broke up our time because 10 weeks in a row might have been a little bit daunting. I guess I'm going to be back next year. I'm going to have to audit because I missed a class. So I don't know if my diploma's not signed, but I certainly would love to be able to come back to, be participatory for the part that I did miss. What I thought was amazing was how personalized this was, how I felt, and I think my comrades here felt how personalized it was, that it wasn't a town, that it was really people. We're talking with people, and that, this composition here really, the fabric makes sense. We felt part of the establishment rather than outsiders. Thank you for that, for making us feel that way. And all of this education is truly empowering. So for anyone who's listening, please take this course next year. You won't regret it at all. In closing, I want to say this made me especially proud of Easton. This was truly, truly amazing. Easton does have the finest. I now believe it, having taken this course. Thank you.
I think just hearing from the four of them and being part of that, the broader class, there just really is indicative of how great our residents are, and being able to have a service like this to be able to give them a deeper dive is really special. So thanks again. So now I think I'll turn it over to the chair for the certificates and small pictures. So.
I'm going to go on the other side of the desk so I don't drop all this. Let's see. We really love to hear the feedback after everyone takes this course, because there are a lot of surprises that people feel after they have taken it, and we're just so happy because we do all this work and for people to be able to recognize and see it. But some of the things that really stand to mind are when you talk about the people, and that's how we look at it. We're all neighbors. We're people just like you, getting paid, the high four figures, $1,800 a year. And that's obviously not why we do it. And we do. We take a lot of pride and we work really hard. So it's really nice that you recognized our department heads and all the people that make this come together. So we hope to see people back again and join boards and committees. So I'm going to give out the diplomas. The first one we have is Mike Belanger. There you go, Mike. Certification.
Thank you very much.
And also, you get a town seal pin, so you can wear that to town meeting. Next, we have David Boyd. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. And your certificate. Congratulations. Michelle Browning. Michelle,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
And Amy Gruken. Here you go. Congratulations. Denise Higgins. Congratulations.
Is it signed?
Let me see. Yep, it's signed. You passed. You made it. You're still welcome to come back next time. Michael Mulcahy. Congratulations.
Finally.
There you go. Beth Myers. Congratulations, Beth. Here you go. Eric Silverman. Congratulations.
Thanks, Craig.
Maureen Strong. And Mike Vogler. Congratulations. And Paula Vogler. There you go. Congratulations. So I do want to thank Sean. It is a big undertaking putting this together, and I think Sean did an amazing job. And it's not just the work, it's the enthusiasm. He was so excited to do this, and I'm so glad we were able to get a good crowd, and everybody enjoyed it so much. So thank you so much, Sean. So we're going to ECAT, who's filming, we're going to take a 15-minute recess, and we're going to ask everybody to come out in the front of Town Hall, and we're going to get a group picture. So. Thank you. All right, so that was really, that's such a fun thing to do every year, is to have the Citizens Academy come and share their impressions of their 10 weeks with us. So thank you to everybody for participating. Item 2 on the agenda is the Juneteenth proclamation, and I'm going to ask Craig to read that.
Whereas on June 19th, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and issued General Order Number 3, which proclaimed freedom for all enslaved people in the state. And whereas this day, known as Juneteenth, is a significant milestone in American history, representing the end of slavery and the beginning of a new era of freedom for millions of African Americans. And whereas Juneteenth commemorates the resilience, strength, and determination of those who fought for their liberation and honors the contributions and achievements of African Americans throughout our nation's history. And whereas Easton recognizes the importance of Juneteenth as a day of reflection, remembrance, and celebration of freedom, justice, and equality for all individuals. And whereas it is essential to foster a spirit of unity, understanding, and respect among all members of our community, and to promote inclusivity and diversity as fundamental values. Therefore, we, the Easton Select Board, hereby proclaim June 19th as Juneteenth, a day to be observed and celebrated in our town. We encourage all residents to honor the historical significance of Juneteenth and participate in events and activities that promote education, awareness, and engagement. By recognizing and celebrating Juneteenth, we reaffirm our commitment to diversity, equality, and justice for all members of our community. Let us strive to build society where the principles of freedom, dignity, and opportunity are extended to every individual, regardless of race, ethnicity, or background. Signed and sealed this 10th day of June, 2024.
Excellent, thank you, Craig. So I just want to note that there is going to be a community picnic on Wednesday, June 19th at Keach Park, 49 Chestnut Street, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a BYO picnic, meaning bring your own chair and your own picnic lunch. It's just a casual gathering for families and friends to celebrate Juneteenth and socialize and meet new people. And this is being hosted by Raising Multicultural Kids and the Easton Human Rights Committee. So hope there's a large crowd there that day. And the board is very happy to be able to sign this proclamation. I think it's another example of the core values that we all celebrate as a community. So the next on the item in line with that is Pride Month proclamation and the reminder of the Easton Pride 2024 that's this Saturday, June 15th. That's Saturday, right? 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Rockery. And the street will be closed down up in the area, similar to when the Winter Festival happens and everything's closed down around the Rockery. Craig, if you want to read the proclamation.
Whereas the town of Easton is steadfast in its commitment to fostering an inclusive, diverse, and welcoming community for all its residents, acknowledging that the strength and vitality of our town are enriched by the diversity of its people. And whereas the month of June is internationally celebrated as Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Pride Month, a time to honor the significant contributions of LGBTQ plus individuals and to recognize the ongoing struggles for equality and justice. And whereas Pride Month serves as an important occasion to reflect on the history of the LGBTQ plus rights movement, celebrate the progress made, and acknowledge the challenges that remain in their pursuit of full equality and acceptance. And whereas the town of Easton is dedicated to promoting a culture of acceptance, understanding, and mutual respect, ensuring that every resident, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, feels safe, valued, and supported. Whereas during the Pride Month, we celebrate the resilience, courage, and dedication of all those who have fought for LGBTQ plus rights and those who continue to advocate for the rights and dignity of LGBTQ individuals. And whereas the town of Easton stands in solidarity with the LGBTQ community, recognizing their valuable contributions to our community and reaffirming our commitment to creating a more just and equitable society for all. Now, therefore, we, the Select Board of the Town of Easton, Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim June 24th as Pride Month in the town of Easton, and we encourage all residents to join in celebrating and honoring the diversity and contributions of the LGBTQ plus community, to participate in Pride Month events and activities, and continue working towards a society where all individuals are treated with dignity and respect. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the seal of the town of Easton to be affixed this 10th day of June, 2024.
Thank you, Craig. And again, this falls in line with our statement of diversity, inclusion, and other values that are in that statement as well. So happy to sign that. Thank you for reading, Craig. Item 4 is an application for a change of manager for Restaurant 138 Incorporated, doing business as Shino at 620 Washington Street. In our packet, we do have an application for a change of manager submitted by Shino. The proposed manager would change to Yu Zong Wu. The application has been reviewed with no concerns by town departments, and there's a recommendation to approve the change of manager. Does anyone have any questions, comments?
No.
Would you like to make a motion, Craig?
I move to appoint, or to approve the new manager at Restaurant 138 doing business as Shino as Yu Zong Wu.
Second.
That's Bodger and Lamb. All in favor? Unanimous. Excellent. We have a number of one-day liquor licenses, so we're going to start first with the Easton Lions Club meeting. That's 3 Barrow Street. It'll be June 12th, 2024, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. The storm date is June 13th, 2024. Hold on one second. Frank Altieri has applied for a one-day beer and wine license for this Easton Lions Club meeting, and Easton Police do not recommend a detail for this event. Any comments or questions?
Nope.
Craig, you want to make a motion?
I move to approve the Easton Lions Club meeting at 3 Barrow Street, June 12th, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. with a storm date of June 13th.
Second.
Bodger and Lamb? All in favor? Unanimous. Excellent. The next one is Easton Rod and Gun Club for the Chicken Barbecue Fundraiser, and they're at 112 Howard Street, June 16th, 2024, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And also the Clam Bake Fundraiser, same location, 112 Howard Street, August 17th, 2024, from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Is anyone here from, would you like to tell us a little bit about it? I thought you were, but I wasn't sure.
Yep. So, hi, I'm Ben Salisbury, 121 Central Street, member of the Rod and Gun Club, representing them today. So these are annual events we hold every year, family-friendly events for the members of our club and the community. I've been going to the gun club for years as a kid growing up, and then now a member and bringing my family. So we would appreciate your support in these events.
Great. So are there tickets available, or?
The tickets are available through members of the club, and then they can go down to 112 Howard Street if they can't find them. There's a sign on the Howard Street that you can find the club.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right,
great.
thank you.
Thank you.
It sounds like a good time. Who doesn't love a clam bake? Craig, do you want to make a motion?
I move to approve both the Easton Rod and Gun Club Chicken Barbecue Fundraiser and the Clam Bake Fundraiser, 112 Howard Street, June 16th from 12 to 6, and August 17th from 12 to 8 p.m.
Second.
So that's Bodger and Lamb, all in favor? Unanimous. Good luck with your event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Brockton Beer Company for a private birthday party at 3 Barrow Street, June 22nd, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. with a storm date of June 23rd, 2024. Rowan Olmsted of the Brockton Beer Company has applied for a one-day beer and wine license for a private party to be held at 3 Barrow Street on June 22nd. Chief Boone has confirmed that there is no police detail required for this event. Anyone here for that? No? Okay. Any comments, questions?
No?
Craig? Oh,
I just have one comment because I did speak to Chief Boone about that. I don't know if it makes a difference, but it's definitely not till 1 o'clock in the morning. End date is 10:30 p.m.
okay. Oh, okay. So 10:30?
Yeah.
All right.
Closing at 1 a.m.
You're not
Are
staying
we
up that
speaking
late?
about the same
I
event?
don't stay up that late.
Are we talking about the private party?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It does say that in,
Okay. No.
so if that's what the application said, we'll leave it at that, but,
That's fine.
okay, excellent. All right, Craig?
So I move to approve the Brockton Beer Company private birthday party, 3 Barrel Street, June 22nd, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. with a storm date of June 23rd.
Second.
That's Bodger and Lamb, all in favor? Unanimous. And the next one is the Easton Shoveltown Cultural District Summer Music Series. It's going to be on the lawn of Oaks Ames Memorial Hall, 3 Barrow Street, and the dates are July 10th, July 17th, July 24th, July 31st, August 7th, August 14th, and August 21st. They are 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Joan Lundgren is the vice chair of the Cultural District. Are they at 6 or did they start at 7?
They start at 7.
Okay.
But
But
I
we want the
think
license
we
for
want the
6.
license at
Okay.
6 because people will start arriving at 6.
Yeah, and for people that are watching and want to go, so this is basically every Wednesday from July 10th to August 21st. You really do need to get there at 6 o'clock, set up, and the music starts promptly at 7.
At 7.
So do you want to tell us about the lineup, Joan?
I do. Let me put my glasses on because if not, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything. This is great. This is our third year of doing this. So as Dottie said, it starts July 10th. We open up with the Pickpockets. July 17th, we have the Brocktones, Craig Carter and the Hurricane. He is local talent who'll join the Brocktones as well. On July the 24th, we have Rock Steady with Bobby Venuto. July 31st, the Reminiscence, which is fabulous band, 50s, 60s, 70s music, always gets a big crowd. August 7th, Steve Smith and the Nakeds, big horn section, great band. July 14th, Jack Colombo and Friends, and Mojo. Mojo is a separate band. Both of them are fabulous. And then we end the concert series with 4 in a row, and special guest star Homer Stevens will open up for them. So it's a good time. It's the Shoveltown Cultural District does it along with Mass Cultural, and we have local Easton businesses who also contribute to it. And it's just a lot of fun. It's free to the community. Bring a chair, bring some food, buy beer and wine from Shoveltown Brewery, and that's it. It's great.
Yep, it is a lot of fun. So last year, we probably had between 180 to 200 plus people for each event, and I don't want to jinx us, but
Yeah, don't jinx us. We had no rain.
so we hope to see you then. It's a great time for the family. Little kids love it too. They're all up dancing.
It is. It's great. We'll have, and a plug for Bill's Pizza will be there. Bill's Pizza, and we'll have ice cream, we'll have snacks, and it's a good time. So come out. Anybody who's listening, please bring your kids, bring your friends, and just have a good time with us.
Awesome. Thank you, and thank you for all the work you do on this, Joan.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So there is no police detail required for this either.
So I move to approve the Easton Shoveltown Cultural District Summer Music Series, the lawn of Oaks Ames Memorial Hall, 3 Barrel Street, July 10, July 17, July 24, July 31st, August 7th, August 14th, August 21st, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Second.
So that's Bodger and Lamb, all in favor? Unanimous. And I guess I could probably throw this out there as the sneak preview. So at the after is if this wasn't enough, we will have a grand finale in September 22nd on a Sunday afternoon, where we will, the cultural district will be asking us at a future date to close off the street again, like we did last year. We got between 500-600 people. It was a really great afternoon event, so mark your calendars for that.
Everybody come out for these, please. It's a good time.
All right, thanks, Joan.
Thank you, Joan.
Next, for community engagement and programming update, we have Deputy Director of Health and Community Services, Joseph Pitty, talking about bocce, the town pool, and other community programs. Thanks for being here tonight, Joe.
So thank you for having me. It has been a really quick 2 years since I first started here, but it's been a really, really enjoyable ride. I wanted to give you all an update tonight, not only on some of the programs, but some of the things that we've been able to accomplish in these first few years. So I don't necessarily get to interact with all of you as often as we all might like, but I think it's beneficial to go over our department's philosophy and how we arrive at some of these programs that you see as end products. First and foremost, our department will always strive to offer new programs to meet different interests for folks with different backgrounds and foster new connections in town. Additionally, I could spend all day talking about it, but opportunities for women are extremely important, particularly in the youth setting. There's a lot of research that discusses how anywhere between 10 to 20% lower participation rates for women and young women exist compared to their male counterparts. On our end, this isn't necessarily an issue for our programs. We've actually seen sort of a flip of this, where in the last 60 days we had over 314 female participants to 234, which is great. We do intentionally try to set up co-ed and women-specific program opportunities. It's coming to life in our registration that's open for our Women's Adult Field Hockey League, as well as a few other programs that we have open right now. And last but not least, equity and inclusion. This has been a really important charge for our office so far. We look at it as residents aren't defined by their differences, but by their shared humanity, and try to unite them to their passions. These efforts have come to life in intergenerational programming. We have on July 27th an upcoming community bocce tournament that'll be up for ages from 8 to 98. So really anybody that's interested, we'll pair you up based on your youngest registrant, and we are going to take people who are just registering as singles to foster inclusion and engagement. Additionally, we're trying to make spaces more welcoming, not just within our programs, but within the spaces the programs take place. This also comes to life in purchasing a floating beach wheelchair for the town pool this coming summer. It's something we're really excited about. It will hopefully allow folks to capitalize on a really treasured resource in the community and allow more people to be engaged alongside their neighbors. I do want to thank Dottie specifically and the Commission on Disabilities, as well as a number of other boards and individuals in town that helped us get there. Last but not least, I do want to know, I know a lot of our other departments in town are considered the backbone and help for survival and are really vital. It's not necessarily the route that we take in our office. We view ourselves more as the smile and the outstretched hand to bring people into the community and help them to engage alongside their neighbors, their friends, and make new connections. It's not necessarily survival, but more so belonging and thriving. So these philosophies have come to life in a variety of different ways. Here are just some very basic statistics that we've put together in an annual report. I won't spend a ton of time on them, but there's a few items on this particular slide that we're really proud of. First and foremost, maximizing Frothingham Hall as a recreational resource in town. I do discuss this a little bit more on a later slide, but we're able to make the most of this really historic building in town. We are starting to push the limits of it a little bit, but everybody is really having a great time, and it's a testament to how involved our community members want to be. Second, leveraging our program portal. This is something that we rolled out about a year and a half ago. At this point, we have roughly 1 in 10 to almost 1 in 9 residents on the platform, which is really neat. And hopefully that creates a positive feedback loop with some of the things that we're trying to accomplish down the line from a program standpoint. Third, when you consider the economic backdrop and some of the uncertainty from a financial standpoint in our country, one commitment we've made to the Recreation Commission and our residents is to maintain many of our prices. I believe almost 90% of our prices have not increased. And in some cases, we've actually been able to roll them back a little bit to reduce barriers. About 15% of our programs are about $5 less a day. And I think when you look at $10 a day for each program, we're closer to about 20 to 30%. And there are a lot of wait lists, which is really encouraging. We just canceled our first program of the year, which is sort of unheard of, to go 6 months without a single program not closing. And that's not necessarily to toot our own horn. Oddly enough, it was pickleball, which I wouldn't have had on my bingo sheet. But either way, we are thrilled at the reception the public is giving us for our activities. And a lot of this is done through broadening our definition of recreation and community engagement. It's really a tool for furthering our priorities and our services. It's more than youth sports and senior fitness. And I know I've mentioned this a time or two to all of you. This past year, we launched 20 new programs. Some of the highlights of this are our family pottery program we ran this past spring. We offered senior ukulele lessons and learn to code. We've also taken advantage of our partnership with our transportation office as a part of Health and Community Services to offer trips to SEMREC, Patriots Hall of Fame, and the Mass Arts Center for their spring festival. We are hoping to take folks to the Open Patriots training camp and OTAs later in August as well. They've been fantastic. Staffing, I will keep this a bit brief. I did not even realize this as I was tallying it up, but we had almost 150 folks participate in helping us facilitate our programs, which is, I suppose, when you consider how many programs we offer, that does make sense. And we did commit quite a bit of time to helping our professional staff, who I do hope you all have a chance to interact with at some page there. The hidden heroes for our department, and Jeff Page and Shay Matta. We've accomplished a number of things, including going to a conference, as well as a number of certifications. But lastly, we did promote and create our internal professional development opportunities for our coaches, creating sort of coaching corner resources, helping create positive outcomes and experiences for our youngest participants in youth sports. It's not necessarily required by any code or statute, but it's something we really take a lot of pride on to make sure everybody's safe and not only safe, but having a great time as well. Recreational assets. As a result of the programming and attendance at Frothingham Hall, we are looking at surpassing our pre-COVID attendance numbers. I do think this number is a bit higher. We are likely not capturing some folks who are a little bit new coming into the building, participating in programs that we're working on capturing some of the data for. So I don't know that the 2023 number is totally representative, but we've really transformed the space into a community hub that's active essentially 7 days a week throughout the year. We've been able to offer evening floor hockey programs that wrap up around 7:30, as well as some weekend drum fit classes for kids, which is probably one of my favorite programs that we offer now. They just really pound away at some of the beach balls, and then they go home tired, which everybody's really, it's a win-win. So with that, I don't necessarily need to recite the amount of space that we have, the acres of park or facilities. But we do have a number of facility projects that we've helped out with these past few years that also have a few noteworthy updates. Everybody's aware of the projects for Unionville pickleball courts. We also conducted an internal recreational asset inventory to identify what we do have and what might be on the horizon in terms of improvements, as well as capital investments at Frothingham Hall and the town pool. Recently, the town pool, I conducted a survey of it and some of our peer groups with colleagues in the field that also have bathing beaches and similar style facilities. We're really excited to announce, we've already announced it, but it bears repeating in this room, that we will be increasing the number of hours via, at the town pool after a lot of extensive feedback on our community-wide town pool survey. We had almost 1,000 people respond to it, which really speaks to how much people value that particular space. Without a doubt, one of the most popular responses was folks were hoping for a little bit earlier hours, which is blocked off by swim lessons. So we will be 9 to 6 for the entirety of the week. There will be an open swim versus a lifeguarded component. Given a lot of the feedback and a lot of the sort of social practices we've seen among parents and caregivers that go to the pool, we feel really confident this will offer a really safe and accessible environment for everybody, while also reducing some of the financial burden that was cited from some of our senior residents. With that, we will actually be increasing swim lessons. A lot of my time recently has been reshuffling and organizing them, and they seem to be as popular as they've been in the time that I've been here, which is really exciting. Additionally, we will be taking credit cards, which is a thrill because I can't remember the last time I carried cash, so it'll be hopefully really convenient for parents shuffling young ones in and not having to fumble for a few dollars to get into the town pool. A simple tap will do. And last but not least, we'll be hosting some programs, a community scavenger hunt and a year-end luau, as well as installing a family sandbox and modest play structure for that site. We're very excited. Additionally, I mentioned as well, the accessible beach wheelchair will be going in this summer and available on weekends. We helped with Swifts Park and the Keach Field fencing that was just approved at the most recent town meeting, and we're looking forward to helping our friends in planning with the outdoor space and recreation plan. Last but not least, we certainly have a number of programs, and a lot of the quantitative and measurable key performance indicators for us are trending in the right direction. They're really encouraging. I still feel that we have a little ways to go in terms of where we could be and some of the opportunities that are still on the table. But when we look at how we interact with the community in terms of our pre-program communication, post-program communication, what we're putting out there on our social media that Sean helped us get up and running, thank you to you, as well as our registration portal and some of our brochures and programming publications. the response from the community in terms of the quality of not only our programs, but the communication, our staff and instructors, and the relative value of how this all plays together has been really remarkable. It's certainly exceeded my expectations. So we're really thrilled for this, and hopefully there is even more to come. I do certainly want to acknowledge the efforts that our staff has put in. They have relentlessly bought into a lot of things that we've done, and they've been able to put on a lot of really great programs, returning things such as the children's races, which is a tradition in Easton unlike any other I've ever seen. Those will be resuming following the 4th of July holiday on Thursdays, to anything from offering additional programs and helping out at the egg hunt this past spring. So I thank you all for the opportunity to present all this. We have a number of programs right now. I encourage you to go onto our program portal. It can be found on the Health and Community Services programming page. I think right now we have about 65 unique program registrations open, which is a bit to manage, but it's all about the people in the end, and it seems like the community loves it. So at this point, that's all I have for a presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
So comments from the board, you start with you, Jen.
I love every year like hearing more about what's happening, and the updates on Facebook and across the community are like just a great way for continuing to keep people aware of what's happening. We're a big field hockey family in my house, so it's been amazing watching that program grow, and I know you're seeing that across other programs as well within the wider program. So it's so exciting to see the demand drive this change and the response to it. So thank you staff for the work they do to enable that, and the volunteers. I mean, it's a lot of work volunteering, and huge appreciation. If someone were interested in volunteering or started a program, should they just reach out to your office? And
So that's a great question. We actually developed a community survey that's posted. It's hyperlinked into our quarterly brochure, and it's also accessible on the community programs site, like landing page. It's a Qualtrics survey. I do check it fairly regularly, about bi-weekly. We've been able to connect some people with some pretty cool opportunities that way.
great.
Email's awesome as well. We have programs at easton.ma.us.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, Joe, I mean, this department and you are a major reason why a lot of people want to move to Easton. I hear throughout the community all the time, there's so much to do, of people of all ages, all the time. I had no idea. It separates Easton from a lot of other communities. The amount of offerings, the amount of appreciation. I mean, I saw the ratings. I think the lowest was 4.4 out of 5. That's outrageous to have that being the lowest rating. The people in the community are appreciative of everything that you guys do. So I can't thank you enough, and please keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. Wish my GPA was that high, but take this instead.
Joe, I really appreciate all the things that you and your staff have done, and particularly your enthusiasm for providing the kinds of services that you do here in the town. It's very much welcome, and it's appreciated. So I thank you for that.
We really love to have the department heads come in, or people in these different roles that you have to talk to us and give us updates on this, because so much happens that we know there's good things happening, but we don't know all the details of it. So I know I appreciate it. I always learn from you when you do come in. A couple of things I made notes of is I love that you coined the word requity. That was pretty cool. And you're talking about a lot of things that you talked about in your job interview that you said you wanted to do. So I'm glad to see that you've been able to realize those. Multi-generational, also inclusion, and especially accessibility. You've come to several Commission on Disability meetings, and you've also assembled a team, including House of Possibilities and Brockton Area ARC, amongst some others, to bring together this disability community to get their feedback. And I think that was really amazing. Ensuring that cost is not a barrier to participation. That's really important too, because you can have all the greatest, activities, but if nobody can join them, they're not going to be as great as they are now. So I love that you're thinking of that. Also, professional development. I don't know that I ever really thought about professional development in that department in that way. And I think that is important because it motivates people to continue to learn new things. And I think it shows in the work that they do. And social media and communications is at an all-time high. We were like, who has taken over the Facebook page? Because there's just so much information coming out there about everything you're doing. And I think it's a great communication tool. I think the town crier, the website, you're doing a really great job at getting the word out there for all of the wonderful events that you have. So congratulations for
Yeah,
that.
thank you. We're really grateful now to have our own page, so we don't necessarily dominate a lot of the more high stakes things versus like Zumba and other things. So we encourage everybody to follow us at home. We have our own Facebook and Instagram page now. We will periodically post larger initiatives onto the town's Facebook page.
What's your Facebook page called? Oh, sorry.
Programs. Community programs.
Oh, yes, I think it's just community programs. Yeah,
Yep.
we looking at my title, I have way too much information there, but it's Easton Community Programs is
Okay.
our Instagram, and Easton Programs is our Facebook page as well. It was
Awesome.
a really difficult choice choosing which words to go with from our title, our departmental title. But
Well, that's great. Good to hear. So thank you for all the great work that you're doing. And I can't believe it's been 2 years.
I know,
That
I mean,
time flies when you're having fun.
feels like dog years.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We will see you at some of the events.
Good to see you.
All right. Next, we have the Easton Fire Department and the CERT team update and an introduction to the CERT team manager, Fire Chief Justin Alexander and Michelle Ferreira. Come on up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you for having us. For those of you who don't know me, I am Michelle Ferrer. I have been with the Easton Fire Department for approximately 2.5 years and have taken over the management of our community emergency response team for about 2 years now. Still kind of wading through, finding my way, but so far so good, I think. We currently have 30 active members, which is a really high amount of members from what I've been told from various surrounding CERT teams and EMAs, so that's great. Our team is very dedicated. Last year we had 654 hours of volunteer time, which is amazing. These are volunteers, so they're taking mostly their weekends and evenings, and we really appreciate everything that they do. I just have one slide to show you, just kind of a quick snapshot of things that we've done last year. Of course, we had our open house, which is a big event every year that the fire department hosts, and we help out with that. We've done several trainings. We're trying to engage more community neighbors and members to come to some of our meetings instead of having them exclusive for certain members. We've done a Narcan training. We've done a Skywarn weather spotter program, which was greatly attended. I think we had 54 members come out for that. Huge outpouring of support for that program. Some of the new things that we're doing or have done last year is we've partnered with the Easton Boy Scouts Club, and we've done programs for them as far as they're getting their certain levels of pinning and accomplishments. So we've done a couple of those so far. We are partnering a lot more with the police department and helping them with the rehab support that they need or any volunteer services for their department. Our members continue to train within our meetings that we have, but also separately with FEMA and MEMA. They're taking the initiative to do those special trainings on their own, which is incredible, and the knowledge that they're bringing back to our team is hugely beneficial. We just received our UTV. We purchased a UTV with grant money that we received from the state. So that will be a huge asset to our team, as well as the fire department and the police department if they need it for areas that are hard to get into, like Borderland, NRT, things of that nature.
And that's the John Deere green thing in the picture.
Yes, that's the John Deere.
In case you're curious what that is at home.
Big green machine. We attended FCAM, which is the firefighters conference. What's the official title for that?
Professional development. FCAM professional development.
Okay,
Yeah.
FCAM professional development. This was our first year attending that, and basically it was our Easton Community Emergency Response Team as well as other local agencies, and we provided information to fire chiefs of different agencies on how a CERT team can be beneficial to their towns. Some of them had no idea what a CERT team was. They were really excited, and we've helped them kind of start their own teams. We're working with Brockton right now and getting their team up and running. We've did a refresh to our logo. You can kind of see from the tent that's there, just to make it a little more clear what our team is, and just kind of refresh our program a little bit. We thankfully only had one fire that we had to respond to last year. Nobody was hurt, and our team responded in the middle of the night to provide rehab to the firefighters and emergency responders that were there. As far as upcoming events, we're kicking off very, very fast paced this year. We will be at the Human Rights Pride event on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, we have the Father's Day road race at the Children's Museum. That's always a fun one for us to do. On the 22nd, we have the Pause in the Park event at NRT, where we will be just passing out, emergency information related to animals. And then we will also have 2 of our firefighters doing or educating on canine CPR. We'll have our mannequins there, and people will learn how to do CPR for their pets, which they were really excited for.
Wow.
And then in addition to that, we are continuing to work on senior safety and providing seniors in our community with various essentials that they need, and education on how to keep their home safe and how to keep themselves safe. And then, of course, in the fall, we head into our open house, which I just spoke about. That will be September 28th for anyone that's listening. That's a fan favorite for the town. We continually receive tremendous support from our community. All of the businesses in the town have been very responsive in donating whatever they can. And that's really important because this is a free event. It's based on Fire Prevention Week, but we want to encourage as many people from the community to come out and learn about fire safety, and also make it a fun day. The kids love it. I mean, I think everybody has attended it. It's a great time. This year, we are going to have a dunk tank, and we will hopefully be getting the fire chief and the police chief in there. So that'll be a great time.
I'd love to see my face on camera just then. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be good.
We're going to have to stop practicing our
We
aim.
have goggles. We have goggles on. It's going to be very embarrassing.
Everybody start practicing for that. And then we have the NRT Fair, which is also a great event that we look forward to every year. And then the Festival of Trees. I think everybody knows what that is, but that is a tremendous event that is held for 3 weeks at the end of November, beginning of December. We provide our support doing the Santa workshop, where kids can come on a hayride, they meet Santa, they get free hot chocolate, they can do s'mores, take pictures. That's a great event, and the Festival of Trees is just incredible. Anyway, the work that they do and the decorating is just amazing. So that's what we have coming in the fall. Just to give you an idea of some of the things that we pass out, obviously we pass out emergency preparedness materials at every event that we do. And then we try to add some additional items that are helpful to the community. So we have been handing out these first aid kits to the community, which they love. They're mini first aid kits, throw them in the car, pocketbook, super easy for people to have and access quickly. And then we just started producing these File of Lives. I'm sure everybody knows what they are, but these are extremely helpful to our first responders when they're responding to a home, especially when there's nobody there except the victim. You can put all of your emergency contact information, any medications, allergies, wishes, things of that nature. So these we'll be giving out at every single event that we have. I did bring some that are on the table outside. Feel free to grab those. For anyone listening at home, we have these available at Station 3 on Bay Road, so you can come by at any point and grab any of these at any time. That's pretty much what I had.
I think you did
That's
great.
it?
I could go on forever. but anyone that knows me knows that I can talk 100 cats off a fish pan. So
I would like to add just one point to Michelle took over, and this is a very unique role, being the CERT team manager, and it's a you got to find the round peg for the round hole. It's very specific, and when Michelle's our administrative assistant in the fire department, getting to know her, I'm like, oh, she's got the personality for this, and she was a good fit, and I think she's done an amazing job with it and has dropped the team forward because she had a good foundation when she took it over. Chief Partridge, Pam, they started it, got it going, and it really made it run. And the other one thing I just wanted to add is the Festival of Trees has adopted the CERT team. I'm making that up, but they basically have. They've selected them 2 years in a row as benefactors from their fundraising, and that's a big part of why they got the UTV. So thank you to the Festival of Trees.
Yes, thank you.
But you two are the team and the festival are hand in hand now, and so I think it's great. So
It's a fun
great
event.
community involvement, and it's great to see the team being recognized in such a way. So
and I appreciate your words, Chief. But I have to admit, I'm the manager, but my team is really managing it. I mean, they're leading me, they're pointing me in the right direction, and we really work collaboratively. And everyone's input is valued, and that's how I think our team is so great right now. And 100% the foundation was laid by Pam and Kevin, and thankfully, because I don't know what it would have done if it wasn't. But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Great. Jen?
So I love the mission of this team, and it's really fun seeing you at events and educating the public and the other supports you offer. It's just, it's a great thing. And the first question I have is, if someone were interested in getting involved, how would they go about doing that?
They can reach out to me at the fire department, or they can message me on Facebook. We have our Facebook page is Easton CERT, with CERT being capitalized. But I'm at the office every day at Station 3, so they can call or message me on Facebook. But that would be great, and thank you for bringing that up. We are in the process of trying to set up a new basic training program for residents and people that are interested in the program right now. So yes, everyone is welcome.
What is a typical, for folks at home, what does a typical volunteering commitment look like in terms of time? So
Anytime.
Okay.
There's no minimum, there's no maximum. It's what you can do. We have some members that will volunteer 300 hours a year, and then some, can only do 10. But it's essentially what your availability is. We are grateful for anything. So there's no requirement on timing.
fantastic. It's been a great night of volunteerism and just seeing people committed
It's
to
amazing.
learning and contributing. So no, thank you for the great update, and thank you for all you do to lead this effort.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
to the
that.
volunteers that put so much time into it as well. So
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are another massive reason why Easton is the community it is. You're emergency response team, but you're way more than that. From where you began to where you are now. And what year was this established?
2016.
16, I
I believe
Okay.
2016.
So in under 10 years, you brought it this far. I have no idea what your plan is over the next 5 years or so, but I don't know how you can beat what you have going on. You guys are part of the community, not just in a response team effort, but you're part of the fabric of the community at all of these events. I can't thank you enough for all that you do and making Easton what it is.
Thank you.
I was unaware of all the things that you do. I'm amazed. I'm sitting here with my mouth open. All the kinds of activities that your CERT team gets involved in, I just didn't know that. And I really enjoy your enthusiasm. And I know that Justin likes the fact that you're well organized and you can take the responsibility. And Justin, I want to thank you for supporting Michelle and for supporting the CERT team. As always, we appreciate that.
she's the right fit. I could sit here and say nothing, so she's the right fit to explain it.
I can see that.
That's perfect. She knows what she's doing.
Yep.
Thank you, Carter.
Well, one of the things that I notice when I see you at the different events, not just you, but you and the team, is the joy and enthusiasm. It's infectious. And that's something that you can't fake, right? So I love that everybody is, somebody mentioned it earlier about the town. It's the people, and the people that come forward to do this, to really enjoy it, do it with enthusiasm. It really is what makes the difference in a community. So you're doing amazing work. It's so cool to work with all our emergency response teams. They're all amazing. And you're kind of like the glue that touches on everything, and is there for some really important things. Thinking about, like, I always look at things and say, what did it look like if this didn't happen, or if the town didn't vote to support this particular thing? And it just feels like the CERT team has always been there. But, what was it like before we had the CERT team? We could never go back that way. You're really valued by this board and by the community. So thank you for everything that you do.
On behalf of our team, we greatly appreciate that. And we do have fun. I mean, we're all volunteers, so, it has to be fun.
You have to have fun. If you don't have fun,
No
why
one's
do
gonna
it?
come out.
Right.
Provide food.
Yeah, food is
You
key.
gotta put food down. That's the key. Bring food, they come out.
Well, thank you. We love to hear all these updates. Like Craig said, we know what we know, but we don't even know all of it. So it's good for us and for the community to hear everything.
I appreciate that. I'm trying to put more out on Facebook and social media. We just started our Facebook page probably like 6 months ago, maybe. So we try to update that often and try to keep people informed of the events that we're doing and things that are happening and important issues. But outreach is huge. Like, we're really, really trying to get the word out. I mean, I didn't even know what the CERT team was before I started in Easton. I've lived here 30 years. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that's changed and people will understand that or have already a good feeling on what we do.
And I love that you're incorporating pets. And,
Yes.
that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that we did CPR training, like an unofficial training during open house. We tested it out last year just to see what the response would be. And our members were basically teaching that, and we had lines at the table of people wanting to learn. And I mean, that's something that everybody should know. So this year we're going to have a bigger focus of that at open house and more official trainings for people. But, the pet CPR is incredible, and people really need to know that.
Great. Well, thank you so much. So this leads into, speaking of appreciation, item 8, we have a vote to accept gifts for the fire department. So we have the Easton Charitable Trust and Easton Festival of Trees, / Easton Festival of Trees, the Richard Tucker Memorial Fund, and an Easton resident, Michael Swartz. So, the Richard Tucker Memorial Fund has been a dedicated sponsor for both police and fire for many years, and so has the Easton Festival of Trees. And then, we have so many Easton residents that, for appreciation, usually if somebody's helped the family or whatever. So it's really nice to see that, and I'm sure that it means a lot to you, and I know that you always send a very nice letter of gratitude to anybody who sends a donation. So we do need to vote to accept those gifts. So if you'd like to make a motion, Craig?
Individually or as a slate?
So the board could use a slate if you'd wish. I would just ask that you refer back to the stipulations of each of the donors, which we could just quickly acknowledge publicly. The first from the Festival of Trees is for the CERT team. The second, which is from the Richard Tucker Memorial Fund, is to be used for fire equipment only. And the third is a general donation to be deposited into the fire department gift account.
Excellent. All right, thank you for that reminder, Connor.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I move to accept the gifts to the fire department, the Easton Charitable Trust / Easton Festival of Trees for the CERT team, Richard Tucker Memorial Fund for fire equipment, and the Easton resident Michael Schwartz to the gift account.
Gratitude, second.
So that's Bodger and Lim. All in favor? Unanimous. Great. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you all. Thank you for having us.
All right. Item 9 is a discussion and vote on the change of compensation for members of the registrars from stipend to hourly.
Sure, thank you, Dottie. There is attached in the board's packet a memo from Town Clerk Danielle Sicard requesting a vote from the board that would be estimated to be budget neutral, which would shift registrars from a flat stipend that they are paid agnostic of the number of hours they work to an hourly rate.
Any comments, questions?
I think it's a very good idea. As I know some people can do it a lot of hours and other people can't. So I think it's fair.
And the budget can handle the shift with no.
The clerk estimates that it can, yes.
Okay, great.
Greg?
So I move to accept the change of compensation for members of the registrars from stipends to an hourly wage.
Second.
So that's Bodger and Lamb, all in favor? Unanimous. All right. Item 10, appointment of Anna Lindsay to the Board of Registrars with a term expiration of March 31st, 2027.
Sure. Attached to the board's file is a notice from the Democratic Town Committee Chairperson Craig Barger advising that the DTC has endorsed the appointment by the Select Board of Anna Lindsay, forgive me if I mispronounce your last name, as the second representative as a voter registrar. The appointment would be with a term expiration of March 31st, 2027.
Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to, for the appointment of Anna Lindsay to Board of Registrars, term expiration March 31st, 2027.
Second.
So that's Lamb and Stacy. All in favor?
Do we do a roll call or not?
Oh, yes, you're right, sorry. Roll call vote.
Stacy Lindsay.
Lamb Lindsay.
Fulgenetti Lindsay?
Barger Lindsay.
Okay, great, so that's unanimous. All right, item 11, discussion and vote on contract IT 2024-04. It's change order number 1 for Bulletproof Solutions, upgrading of the operating system.
Sure, thank you, Dottie. As the board likely recalls, Information Systems Manager Mike Deltano has been working for over a year now with Bulletproof Solutions on a variety of cybersecurity-related projects, including server updates. There was an initial base contract in the amount of $111,000, which included $40,000 for migration services for 11 new virtual servers. At this point of a project, Bulletproof has identified 11 of them that could be rebuilt rather than migrating to retrofitted older servers. And so this will allow the IT department to get a better server architecture for less cost than what they were originally anticipating. So Manager Deltano is recommending this. I am as well. The additional cost of the upgrades in this change order is $24,000. The original budget for this project was $194,000. With this amendment, the total will still be at $135,000.
Okay, comments or questions?
I do have a question. What is the data? What type of data is this that's going to store on these servers?
The town's working files.
Okay. I know for other, I forget which department, migration to the cloud was important. And
Yes, so we have a few different projects going on, but departments that can, for example, ours, a lot of the administrative departments that work primarily in, I want to say probably lighter load files, the Office suite, things of that nature, not heavy duty things like AutoCAD or GIS. A lot of their files are being moved into cloud environment using SharePoint with Microsoft 365. We do still need to maintain a certain amount of our own local virtualized servers that we have complete control over, as opposed to a contractual cloud-based service. So we do need to maintain some of our own server array, whether that's here or redundancy with virtualized servers like this. But we are also in the process of moving the departments that can to SharePoint. Then you have certain ones where if they're doing heavy-duty things with GIS or things like that, based on a local PC, they're maintaining some local files.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Craig?
So I move to approve the contract IT 2024-04 in the amount of $24,000.
Second.
That's Bodger and Lamb. All in favor? Unanimous. All right, next, item 12, contract award DPW 2022-05, change order number 2, Hart Engineering Corp. For Red Mill Road Water Treatment Plant setup modifications.
Sure, thank you, Dottie. As the board is aware, we commissioned the Red Mill Road water treatment plant for wells 3, 5, and 7, I believe a month ago, although it's probably more because town meeting warps my sense of time. And this is only the second change order of that project, which is quite good for a project of this size. These are a handful of smaller items in the scheme of a $12+ million project related to setup modifications. There's detail on those specific items attached in your packet. These relate to things like the relocation of automatic transfer switches, generators being switched to the appropriate fuel types and things of that nature. The change order is $26,020. Can be funded out of the current available project budget contingency, which is in excess of $800,000. DPW recommends approval.
Any comments, questions?
We had the opportunity to tour the site, and it's very impressive. It's very impressive, very well done, and I'm glad I had a chance to do that.
Great. All right. Would you like to make a motion, Craig?
So I move to award the contract DPW 2022-05, change order number 2, Hart Engineering Corporation, the Red Mill Road Water Treatment Plant, the amount of $26,020.
Second.
So that's Bodger and Lamb. All in favor? Unanimous. All right, item 13, contract awards for Southeastern Regional Services Group, SURSIG. We have a number of agreements on here. The first one is water and sewer treatment chemicals, Borden and Remington Corp., Hakros Chemicals, Holland Company, Roberts Chemicals for July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. Paper, WB Mason Company Incorporated, July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. Department of Public Works Supplies, LaRusso Corp., Boro Sand and Stone, Lynch Corp., Classic Tractor Services LLC, G. Lopes Construction Incorporated, Ferguson Waterworks, John Hoadley and Sons Incorporated, T.L. Edwards Incorporated, Dennis K. Burke Incorporated, Peterson Oil Incorporated, also from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. So SURSIG is the local purchasing group where our DPW works with this agency. They get volume discounts on these purchases. So did I miss anything on that, Connor?
You did not. Thank you.
Move it, vote as a slate. Contract awards for Southeastern Regional Services Group.
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
So that's Bodger and Lamb. All in favor? Unanimous. Item 14, dissolution of the MBTA Community Zoning Implementation Review Team. We, as you probably remember, a couple of years back, we put together a review team that consisted of representatives from most, if not all, of our boards and committees so that we could learn to understand what this MBTA community zoning was and prepare for bringing that to our community. Now that that vote has happened, we don't have to have this committee anymore. Their role is completed, so rather than just have a committee in perpetuity, we're going to vote to dissolve this as it's no longer needed. Any comments, questions? All right.
They did a terrific job.
They did.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I move to dissolve the MBTA Community Zoning Implementation Review Team.
Second.
So that's Bodger and Lamb. All in favor? Unanimous. Next, the vote to remove a member of the Commission on Disability for inactivity. Elizabeth Gray has not been able to join the committee for meetings, and the seat expires June 30th, 2026. So just as we have to vote to appoint people, sometimes if a member has to be removed, usually that only happens after a number of trying to contact the person, and there was no response. So sometimes that happens. People have change in status, or their schedules change and they're not able to attend the meetings. So that's also a roll call vote. If I get a motion and a second.
I move for the removal of member of Commission on Disabilities for inactivity, Elizabeth Gray, the seat that expires on June 30th, 2026.
Second.
So that's Bodger and Lamb in roll call vote.
Stacy Gray.
Lamb Gray.
Full Janetti Gray.
Barger Gray.
And I go to a number of those meetings, and I do want to say that I appreciate the times that Elizabeth was able to make it to the meetings. She was a great contributor. All right, so next we have the acceptance of the minutes, May 20th, 2024.
So moved, Barger.
Second. Lamb.
All in favor? Unanimous. And then approval of executive session minutes, approval only of the executive session minutes of May 6th, 2024.
So moved, Barger.
Second.
Bodger and Lamb, roll call, all in favor? Unanimous. All right, So, sir, you have been here patient the whole time, and we don't have public comment on the agenda, but I want to ask, I will invite you to,
I contacted you in advance. I'm John.
sure, John, if you want to,
address the board briefly.
sure, if you want to stand at the microphone, please.
Sit down.
Sure, whatever you're more comfortable with. And just introduce yourself and give us your street address for our minutes.
John Rosegen, 138 Randall Street. I would like to propose initiating the process of adding a bylaw to the town code, one that would prohibit roosters being kept on residential property. Most of the surrounding towns already have such a law. I'd say Sharon, Brockton, and Norton, outright bans. Stoughton, permit only. Foxborough, only on plots larger than 2 acres. And let me tell you, this is for good reason. I don't know if any of you have ever lived near a rooster. It's pretty much hell. The animal near me crows all day long from just before light in the morning till darkness at night. In the summer months, that means 4 a.m. it starts. And I'm retired. I'm pretty much home all day. My house does not have air conditioning, so I have to keep my windows open to keep the house ventilated. And I cannot sleep past 4 a.m., period.
Okay.
And I can't do anything during the day without having it being interrupted by this noise. It's loud and it's obnoxious, as nature has designed it to be. I haven't done an exact count, but I would estimate, based on some real quick math, that this animal crows between 400 and 500 times a day. And it's been going on for 4 years now. And I want to do something about it.
Okay.
I need my sleep. I'm 70 years old. My health is on a downward slope. It's becoming more and more important. So whatever needs to be done, I know it has to be voted on at a town meeting. I can put together a presentation.
So what I would ask you to do is reach out to Sean in the town administrator's office.
Okay.
And Sean will give you all the particulars on what you would need to do to be able to do that.
All right. I did write up some text. Can I submit that?
Sure, give everything to Sean, so we don't need that for tonight,
Okay.
But certainly Sean will help you with whatever you need.
Okay.
So.
We're all on this wing of the building. During all of our business hours, you can come by anytime or give us a call. If you'd like, I could give you the business line.
Could we handle it this evening?
Why don't you let us finish up the meeting, and then you can talk to Sean after the meeting.
Not
So
during the meeting.
We're almost right at the end of it anyway, so it'll just be a couple more minutes.
Okay.
So we appreciate your being here tonight, and you got to see a lot of other things that you probably wouldn't have gotten to see, so.
No, it was interesting. It was interesting.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right, town administrator notes.
I have none. Thank you.
Assistant town administrator notes?
I guess we can give an update on CCAP, the Committee for Climate Action Planning. Since our last meeting, we sat our final member. We were waiting on a representative from a different board or committee, and so we'll be meeting in the next week or so. And one of the core functions of that group will be to review and give input on the RFP for a consultant to help get that process started. So that's something to look out for in the coming weeks.
That's excellent. Great. Thank you so much. And just a reminder for people who want to watch our board and committee meetings or attend anything that's a public meeting, you can go onto the town website and there's a calendar there. Click on the calendar date and it will give you all the information about the meetings that are happening that day. All right, select board notes, Jen?
I've got nothing. Everything that I'm excited about was covered tonight. I'm Board of Pride on Saturday, and yeah.
Excellent. Mark?
No notes.
Craig?
I'm really excited about the Pride event. This is I think it's the third year that we've done it. Huge crowds, a lot of enthusiasm. It's a really good time. And I really appreciate the work that the Human Rights Committee, I happen to be on there, that do on a regular basis. And I'm very excited about the RMK Juneteenth event too. Denise and Kelly have done a heck of a job. So
Right.
I'm looking forward to that as well.
Great, thank you, Craig. All right, well, if there's nothing else, I would take a motion to adjourn.
Sorry,
Oh.
Memorial Day was since last.
Oh,
The last meeting was quite a while ago, so I'll just pitch that to one of the board members who was there.
yes, we had a great response to Memorial Day as always, and I know that this was the first parade that our new Veteran Services Officer was able to participate and put together with our Health and Community Services, so Jason Snyder. He got to his first initiation of a parade 2 weeks on the job, and Kristen Kennedy did a great job with that, and of course our commanders from the VFW and the American Legion. It really means so much to our veterans, like truly, to have such community support. The Scouts are involved, lots of community groups, and it was a really nice day of reflection. And of course, doing that down at the monument that has been moved so people have access, the grounds around it is just beautiful and very meaningful to the community. So thank you to everybody that put it together and attended. Thanks for the reminder. It feels like months ago.
Yeah, the high school band was excellent.
Oh, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the speaker, I forget his name, he was terrific.
he was very good,
Yeah.
the Grand Marshal. All right, with that, a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Barger.
Second.
Bodger and Lamb, all in favor? Unanimous. Thanks, everybody, and thank you to ECAT for always being here for us to take good records of our meetings. Have a good night.